Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day, taking a quick look here at Avalanche, seeing what's going on. We're going to talk about better, worst case scenarios, the whole 9 yards, pretty much everything to ensure you understand specifically what's going to happen next. We're going to try to keep it brief and touch on the important parts, such as wonderful profit here from our community. Just want to quickly note ICP, we took a good 30% there in 2 trading days, and we scalped the heck out of Matic. Solana, we had 3 different trades open for Solana, all of which have hit their 4th profit target. So we got in at the mid to upper $90 range. So that's awesome stuff there. So congrats if you're curious about that. Consider registering before year end. Limited slots available. CryptoCash.tech is a site for my signals if you're curious. It does also come with a trading university as well. I teach you everything that I know. And I hope that you can learn something here today. So what we're going to talk about is the backend data for Avalanche. See kind of what's going on, because there's a lot of things that could happen here and a lot of things that should happen here. In other words, we got some heavy concentrations of longs at the $43 mark. So again, I'm just mentioning that so you can understand that there's perhaps more merit for the price action to pull back to that level based on being so many longs at that range. Okay. Furthermore, right there at exactly $50, we're seeing some new late shorts here coming in as well, because again, a lot of shorts got wrecked between 48 and 49. So having said all that, let's go ahead and see what the chart looks like here for us. We'll start with the daily and work our way down. And it's important to recognize too, again, the liquidation levels, they potentially can happen, but they don't always happen. In other words, we may not see that low level hit, but it's important to recognize that it is a thing. If the price starts to pull back, we can understand that it might maybe a target. And if you have a liquidation level there or a stop loss there, you might want to consider adjusting it. That's kind of the reason why it's helpful, is to give us a little bit of a forecast on what's going to happen next, because the whales are obnoxious and they like to take their profit. Okay. And that includes liquidating billions and billions of dollars. So daily time frame, really only way to put it is that it's very strong. There's nothing going on here. Look at this perfect trend line right there at about 80. I mean, we've seen this for roughly last 5 days straight. Price action just goes straight sideways. We do have a divergence here on stochastic, of course. This is the first one. Nothing major to concern ourselves with, but that is letting us know that we're hitting somewhat of a critical point and we could see a shift in momentum soon. It does make sense, obviously, considering what's going on. We're honoring our ascending trend lines on both daily and 4-hour time frames, so you got to recognize that here. Let's go ahead and make this a little easier for you to see. If you look at this, you can see we are doing pretty nice on the trend lines here, okay? And those are running concurrent with the 50-day simple moving average and the 20-day, okay? So we got the 20-day here and the 50 going right there, okay? So as long as we stay above both of those, we can presume the price is going to continue higher, okay? Until we break below the 20-day SMA, we have no reason to consider the price is going to come down, and all the more reason not to consider a short position. Okay. Again, if you are considering a short, there's different levels to how low it could go. I'm not saying this is a guarantee, but 0.382, 0.5, 0.618, those are common retracement zones. And if this is the top, which we don't know it's the top yet, then these are the commonly most retraced levels. So $42, 40 even, and just say 44. So 40, 42, and 44 are effectively those ranges that we could see the price pull back to. I'm just covering that so you understand what could happen. Am I saying that's going to happen? No, we haven't invalidated our uptrend yet. Okay. Furthermore, too, if we take a look at stochastic RSI, we are starting to diverge. That does show us we lost a little bit of momentum, but money flow index and RSI are remaining in that sweet spot. We'd love to see that. MACD is trying to diverge, but hasn't yet. So still good shape. Okay. Just because it's pulling back a little doesn't mean it will continue, but we might want to presume that it should, because the more often you test a trend line, which has been tested multiple times now, the more likely it is to break. Okay, so again, I got news for you. Trend lines continue until they don't. Big surprise. But again, the more often you test anything, in trading specifically, the more likely it is to break. Okay, so there is that. Okay, we'll look at and see on the hourly if there's any potential shift in momentum. Let's quickly note one other thing here before we move on. With volume, to clarify, again, a lot of volume between this 0.618 and 0.5 fib level. So 40 to 42 should provide us a decent amount of volume support. Okay. Furthermore, as well, look with liquidity and fair value. We just swept this upper level of liquidity. We talked about that already. There's a tiny amount of fair value just below the price actions, but nothing substantial. Hourly time frame, let's wrap this up here and call it a day and just kind of talk about the cloud. Oh, just before we do too, because I got a ton of questions recently about our new exchange. Yes, it is awesome. No KYC, no VPN. Bitunix, link down below if you're curious. Fantastic rewards. Use my link to register. Make sure you utilize that. And more important, check out our Discord. We have a Bitunix section here with instructions on how to set multiple profit targets. And of course, some basic beginner guides too, if you're curious. That's all available for you there. Just want to make sure we clarify that. But here on the hourly, we have all green lights to leave a long position open. No reason to consider closing it. We got a decent amount of time here. What that's probably maybe about 8 hours before we have that window of opportunity closing. Conversion line is coming closer to the baseline, but our lagging span and our cloud are all looking pretty solid here. So technically right now, 3 out of 3 reasons to leave a long position open. Are these reasons to open a long position? To me personally, not exactly, but everything else we've confirmed looks really good. And you got to recognize when I analyze charts here, I'm looking for reasons not to take a trade. I'm not trying to convince myself to take a trade. Try to calibrate your brain and rethink that process, because that's forcing a trade if you're trying to convince yourself to take a trade. That's gambling mechanics 101. All right, so again, you do not want to do that. So in a perfect world right now, you're going to pump the brakes and realize that, hey, we're a bit on the overextended side. While it should continue higher, is it going to? We're not sure yet. Okay, it does seem fairly indicative that all the indicators are looking very solid though. Okay, so I got to recognize that and keep that in mind. Am I willing to take a position with this just yet? Not quite. I mean, I've got a few hundred traders underneath me. I'm probably going to wait and find a better opportunity. But again, I'm not saying this is a bad opportunity. I'm just saying that this isn't perfect, which no trade really is. Anyways, I'm rambling again. So sorry. Thank you so much for learning. I hope you learned something today. If you want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is a site. Heads up, we are limiting spots first of the year, of course, just so we have more one-on-one time with our members, just to ensure that you have a good experience there. So if you're considering joining, cryptocash.tech is a site, link down below. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy/Merry Christmas Eve and Christmas to you if I do not see you tomorrow. If you don't celebrate, what is today? Happy Saturday. Happy Sunday. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you in the next one. Have a good one. Thank you.